Hi, this is an Exquisite Tech video, and today we are going to be making what when we were kids we used to call ghetto fireworks, or we used to also call them nano rockets, micro rockets, mini rockets, whatever you call them. These are pretty low-tech items, but they're pretty cool anyway. So what you're going to need for nano rockets is you're going to need paper matches. Now these are the kind you find in a paper match book. I had a little trouble finding these in my area. I'm not sure why. Maybe they're not making them as much. I could only find the wooden matches. Now the wooden matches won't work as well. You're going to need the paper ones. You're also going to need some aluminum foil. And we're going to put these two items together and make a nano rocket. Now here's how a nano rocket looks. It's just a paper match with aluminum foil wrapped around the end. Now what's going to happen is once we're done with it, we're going to light a match. We're going to put it underneath the nano rocket, and it's going to combust the head of the match that's underneath this foil. Now around this foil, it's wrapped, around this match, it's wrapped around the foil. What this is going to do is cause the flames to go in this direction, because it has no way to escape except this direction. And what that's going to do is propel the mini rocket forward. Now, very basic rocketry. You have combustible material, you direct the flow of it, and it will propel something forward. We'll see if ours work today. Now let's see how we make these things. As I said, you're going to need paper matches. So you're going to take a paper match, take it out of the matchbook. Then you're going to take some aluminum foil. Now how you fold it may vary from person to person. Not everyone does it the same, I imagine. This is not an exact science, but here's how I do them, and I get pretty good results. I get a piece probably about almost the length of a match, and half the width, half the length of it. The width is half the length. And I take the match and put it halfway down the longest side. And then I fold it over. So now I have the match in the center, and the fold is on top. And I kind of use my fingernails to make a crease or along the edge of the match. Then I take one end, doesn't matter which side you start with, fold that over. Now the next part does matter. You fold this part, this side, over the fold you just made. This will make a better seal and will keep the flames from coming out the sides or the top or blowing up the foil. If the foil is too thin, like if you're using really cheap foil, sometimes that'll all be what will happen. It'll just blow through the foil. But if you use good foil, you fold it nice and tight, but you see how there's a little gap down there? It's just going to naturally occur. You don't need to try to make that gap. You just need to make sure the top is nice and tight, and there'll be a gap underneath. Now, what should happen, as I said, is we're going to light a match. We're going to put it underneath here where we know the match head is, and it's going to heat it up until it combusts. And once that happens, we'll see if it goes, if it just fizzles, or if it just turns and goes in a crazy direction. We're going to try it out. What you're going to do is you're going to need to make a launching pad somewhere where it's not going to go flying into your newspapers or your magazines, or somewhere in your house it's going to cause a fire. Be careful with this, because we're talking about matches here. We're not talking about something that will not burn your house down. That's what matches are for, to light fires. We don't want to send this thing somewhere where it's going to start a fire. So let's test these. I've got a few that I've already made, and we're going to test them, see how they work, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we're going to test our Nano rocket, Ghetto firework, whatever you want to call it. And what I've done is I've made a paper clip launching pad, folded a paper clip to hold my Nano rocket, and I cleared an area. We don't want this thing landing in something that's going to burn. They don't go real far, but they go far enough that they might land in something that you weren't expecting it to land on. We don't want to start a fire, so make sure you clear an area. And this thing might turn left, it might turn right, it might go straight. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to light a match. I'm going to hold a flame underneath the head of the match. I know that it's at the end of this rocket. And we're going to watch and see what happens. Okay, nothing happened there. It just kind of flipped to the side. So we're going to try another one. And this might happen to you where you have a few duds. Like I said, this is not an exact science, so you might have a few that just don't go anywhere before one blasts its way into glory. So I'm going to put another of these rockets here on our launching pad. And I just want to lean it on something. I don't want to have it get stuck in there because it isn't going to go anywhere if it's being held by something. So I just want it leaning in an angle and at a low enough angle that I can put a flame on it. So let's try again. Okay, that one actually launched. Went a couple feet and didn't burn my house down, so I'd say that was a success. So, once again, mini rockets. We want to use paper matches because they're lighter. Aluminum foil. Don't use very cheap aluminum foil. It may be a little heavier, but you're going to end up having better results if you have a foil that's going to contain the flame and direct it to the bottom of the matchstick. And there you go. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. And as a side note, we made a launching pad out of a paper clip. We're going to make another video on many uses of the paper clip. There's a lot of different things you can do with that. Watch for that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.